Today's guests helped lead the Knights to state volleyball and basketball tournaments. Joining me now, it's Morgan and Tessa Olson. Guys, appreciate the time hopping on the podcast here today. First off, Morgan, when was the first time that you guys ever played sports together? Because I saw your high school careers up close.
Well, let's see. I got to rack my memory a little bit. I probably would have been a 9th grader, and Tessa would have been a 7th grader. I think the first time we ever played together was when we were going to a team camp in the summer down to NDSU, and for whatever reason we were short girls for injuries or sickness or whatever. So the coach said, "Hey, Tessa, can you come along and play?" And I think she was just going into 7th grade, so that's my first memory of playing with her. So, yeah.
So, like, the younger youth sports didn't group up anybody that was, like, 2 years apart or anything?
No, I think it was always just a year below you, so we never played, like, Y-League or anything like that. But, of course, Tessa and I played in the backyard and in our driveway always growing up, but nothing officially sanctioned growing up, so.
Okay, got it. So, Tessa, what was it like kind of having, like, an older sister on the team?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, we got to obviously always go to practice and games together, always my hotel buddy, and it was nice having someone so close to me on the same teams.
Tessa, obviously, like, every teammate is going to be, like, close and supportive, but, I mean, what kind of, like, next level was it like having a family member along?
I think, especially a family member and a sister, you get to see both sides, like the really good side of each other, and then also the ugly side can come out just because we are so close. And yeah, there's fights every now and again, but I think that's just what pushed us to be better.
All right, so Morgan, Tessa brought it up, so I'll let you explain it. What's like the ugly side of it?
Well, being the older sister, I won't even lie. I was tough on her, but it was only out of love. I just wanted her to get better, and so, sometimes we'd have our spats. I remember one time in volleyball practice, she was hitting a back row attack, and I said it to her, and she hit me square in the head, and I was so mad at her. And so we have, our little bickers, but like she said, with the ugly side comes the really good side, and there's nothing better playing with her and, getting a good set off of her pass or a hit off of her pass. And it was just a really special couple of years being able to play with her. So.
All right, so you guys were coached by Nunziato in volleyball, Scott Peterson in basketball. Those coaches are still there. I know it wasn't crazy long ago. Tess, I'll let you lead off with this. I mean, what was it like being coached by both of them, and how are they maybe alike and different?
Being coached by Kara, she was the coach that I had all the way through my high school years. I didn't have anyone else, and even same with Scott. And so with Kara, it was nice because we got to grow really close, and she was always made an effort to take us to summer camps and always just wanted to not only make us better athletes, but better people. And same with Scott. Scott was always very kind and understanding with girls, which is nice when you have a male coach. So, yeah, I appreciated them both.
Morgan, how did both of those coaches help you improve the most in your volleyball and basketball game?
Yeah, Tessa kind of touched on it a little bit with Kara. She was so, and still is, so dedicated to the program. Taking us to Nebraska, to Minnesota, to Wisconsin. That's just kind of unheard of in our area. So, really appreciate her dedication and just wanting the best for the team. And same with Scott. He was so kind-hearted, and he really just wanted us to have fun. And like Tessa touched on, a little bit of a different dynamic when you're coaching all girls being a male, but I thought he did a really nice job because he was just so kind and understanding. And to speak to both of them, they both really understood, like, personality differences and how, some people react to conflict, some people react to constructive criticism, and so they both coaches took that into account really well, I thought. So,
Morgan, who's funnier?
Who's funnier between the two coaches?
Yeah.
So Scott is definitely goofier in a good way, but Kara is a great storyteller. The whole Nunziato family is just hilarious to me, so I'd have to say it's a pretty good tie there.
Mm-hmm. Tessa Morgan maybe touched on a little bit of this in her answer just now. Looking at Coach Peterson, are you surprised that Bolo Ties haven't been able to make a comeback despite his efforts?
Oh gosh.
So yeah, he started wearing those in memory of his mother who passed away, and for a few years there, it was kind of his tradition. No matter what type of shirt he was wearing, it always found its way on his body. So I definitely think that's how people knew that he was our coach, and yeah, it was definitely a unique part to him.
That'll always happen to me. I'll bring that up and then slam. It's an awesome tribute, and I didn't know that. We're going to leave it in. Morgan, when you were coached by Scott Peterson, awesome trip to state for you guys. Ended up being, third place, I'll tell you what, that was a big stage for your entire team. And, boy, you had, Dom Izzo freaking out on the call because you were hitting every single shot at that tournament, helping to lead the team. I mean, what was that experience like, and how did you execute under a stage that has so much pressure to it, in high school sports?
Yeah, that was just a really special way to cap off my senior year. We were definitely not the favorites in the region to go to state that year. And I just remember before we played Velva in the regional championship, we're like, okay, we just got to give it all because we literally have nothing to lose. And so we won that game. We got to the big stage. And it was surreal, honestly. Playing in the Alara Center was just such a big stage, such a huge auditorium for us to display our team in, but we played really well. Taking third was above and beyond anybody's expectations. And as far as my personal play, honestly, I surprised myself too, because if you go back and look at the stats, I really didn't shoot that many threes that season because I was more of just I wasn't tall, but I was taller compared to the team, so I did some more rebounding and post work that season. But, I don't know, something happened. There was a spark that was ignited for the whole team, and we just played really well.
Yeah, even getting to state, that was a pretty high-pressure situation, that region championship game against Velva. How did you guys, keep your nerves calm going into that overtime? Because the closing minutes of that game were pretty crazy just in regulation time. And, boy, it would have been even tougher if, John Ali didn't foul out, huh?
I know. I think back to that game, and it kind of, like I said, it's just you have to keep your cool under that pressure. But also, it was we have nothing to lose, so we might as well give our last 110% because for seniors, you didn't have a game after that if you lost. And we weren't the favorites to win, so even if we went out there and lost, we would have given it a really good effort. So, just keeping court smarts in the back of our mind and making sure that we're making the right plays is kind of, I think, what we fell back on in those overtimes there.
So, Tessa, you guys have that state basketball run, and our Redeemers volleyball has gone to state 7 straight times. Between all of these experiences, the ones that you've played with, or even watching Morgan play for the front end of this run, who do you think, which year was the best team overall?
Oh, wow. I think just the 2016-2017 year of when we made it to the state championship in volleyball and then obviously making it to state in basketball, that's just a very profound year for our Redeemers sports in general. So it's a lot of times people say, oh, those are some of the best teams, but also with that comes a lot of the senior group from Morgan's class and then a few of us younger ones, we kind of grew up together. So we grew up playing and we just were able to find a mesh. And, I think each team throughout my years has been really special and has good aspects to each one. So it's hard to pick.
All right, I don't know if this is going to be any easier to pick, and either of you guys can jump in on this one here. Recently, Minot State Volleyball has added a lot of players that are from local teams, whether it's Our Redeemers, Minot High, DLB had a couple kids going to the Beavers in this signing day season. There's good players around here, but there's two different classes. There's Class A and Class B. If Our Redeemers, who has won Region 6 over and over again in this area, played Minot High in volleyball, how would that match go down?
Well, we've actually played Minot High a couple of times. I know back when I was in high school, now it's been 4 or 5 years, but we did a little preseason scrimmage with them, and we always kept up with them pretty well. I think it's a little hard to judge because, like I've said before, I only graduated with like 19 people, and I'm pretty sure that Minot High graduates like 500 people per year. And so on a consistent scale, I think it would just be so hard to tell how the teams would match up. But our Redeemers, just the program in general, they have such dedicated girls year in, year out. And so they have been able to compete with Class A competition. So, yeah.
So, Tessa, you guys are definitely winning then, right?
Bias, I'm going to say yeah.
Okay, good. And one more point that Morgan brought up here. Graduating classes of 500 to 19. How nice was it to not be stuck at your commencements like for forever and just get to the after parties?
It was nice. I mean, I remember my year. It was funny because I was valedictorian, but I also made the senior year video, and I just realized in the moment how special that was. Is I could like articulate such a personal and heartfelt video because you can't do that with 500 kids. And I'm like, wow, I really do know, like, personally well all of my classmates. And it was just, I had a great experience at Redeemers with my classmates, with my teammates. And so, yeah, that was definitely a special experience going to a small school.
What about public speaking versus playing a sport in front of a bunch of people?
Oh, I'd much rather play a sport.
Big time.
I am not a public speaker.
Yeah, I wasn't like the high grade point average at college, but I got voted to speak at our journalism school commencement, and I talked really fast to get through my page. So I don't blame you guys there. So we're gonna go through a couple of matchup questions, of course, because you guys are sisters, and that's the fun thing to do. Who's better right now at either of your sports, basketball and volleyball, and even back when you were playing for the Knights?
Morgan, I'll let you answer that.
The floor is open. Yeah.
Well, okay, I'll say this. Right now, I'm definitely better at volleyball because I actually keep up with it. I play in 3 leagues a week, and Tessa doesn't touch a volleyball or a basketball. So I'll go ahead and take the crown for volleyball, but neither of us have touched a basketball in a while. So.
Mm-hmm. Tessa's just like playing school, and Morgan's still in the leagues, I guess.
I am. Well, I'm in school too, but I like to make it a priority. I don't think Tessa's got bigger fish to fry. So.
Okay. What about this, Morgan? Picking up. Most people either when they're younger and want to stay in the sports, they're either coaching or ref, and you're reffing right now. What's that experience been like? Have you been chewed out by anybody yet?
Yeah, actually, I am certified in both volleyball and basketball. And admittedly, I haven't done any basketball games yet. It just hasn't worked out with my schedule. But I really enjoy volleyball, and I've been doing it since I got certified in May of 2018. So I did the 2018 volleyball season and the 2019 volleyball season. I did take a break this year because of coronavirus, but I had worked up my way up to reffing varsity in that short amount of time. But with working your way up comes higher stakes and coaches yelling at you and players yelling at you, and it's definitely a different ball game, and it gives you a different appreciation for officiating because it is not easy. So
I can picture what fans get upset about in basketball, obviously, but what about in volleyball? What could they possibly yell about? Just like the close line or what?
Yeah, well, it's tough because, like, as an official, you have to trust your line judges, but sometimes you get, like, a 10-year-old line judge, you know what I'm saying? So you have to make certain judgment calls that you wish you didn't have to. And I just go back to nobody's perfect. Everybody's trying their best. Everybody wants a good and fair game. And so, yeah, I just try my best with every judgment call. So,
Tessa, how nice is it to have a lot of the times just by necessity, refs end up being right from Our Redeemers. Hopefully that never helps you guys, right? You got like Morgan Olson and Mackenzie Popping just helping everybody out, or what?
I definitely think it is nice though to see just people that did grow up in Class B and played for local teams, you know, becoming refs and staying local. It's nice to see familiar faces repping.
All right, yeah, that's all we can really say on that. And Morgan, I can't wait for you to be able to ref with good old Aaron Casper. He always does a great job in basketball and whatnot.
Yeah.
All right, so more matchups here. You guys, I don't know, care maybe a little bit about Taylor Strand and Noah Abel, and they were also former athletes at our Redeemers. So if you guys are picking up a basketball finally for the first time in like forever, and you play 2-on-2, and it's the Olsons versus the boys, who's coming out on top?
Well, if we switch the teams and it's Taylor and I versus Tessa and Noah, I'm taking me and Taylor.
That's the follow-up, yes, of course.
Oh, no, I would take me and Noah. I think, you know, Noah's obviously, he's coaching for our Redeemers, and he's always around basketball, and, I mean, I can get down and dirty still with basketball.
Tess is very aggressive. If it were Tessa and I, we would definitely get down to the nitty-gritty, but, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Tess and I could outshoot them, but they would probably beat us in the paint, so it'd be a toss-up.
I don't know about that. I think Tessa will probably just shoulder the load when it comes to like fighting down the paint. I don't know. I think Noah's a peripheral player.
Right? I know.
I saw you guys at the MSU Dome the one time, and I was like, Noah's obviously not even the best able.
That is hilarious that you say that, actually, because I do remember that when you said that. Was it you that said that Cameron's the better able?
Oh, yeah. Only because it's obvious.
That's just hilarious. That's hilarious to me.
Yeah. All right, so Morgan got this done, and Tessa, yours is on the horizon here. Whose wedding do you think is better, or going to be better, I guess?
More
fun, no family drama.
Definitely mine. But in Tessa's defense, there's coronavirus going on, so more people probably won't show up, and I think I just invited more people in general. And they're getting married young too, but I got married the year after I graduated high school, so it's like I had college friends and high school friends, so it was just like a bunch of young people. It was so fun. It was a great time, but Tessa's wedding is going to be so fun too. I am so excited, and it's coming up in like 20 days here, right, Tess?
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard because obviously you want to say that, you know, my wedding's going to be the best, and I'm so excited to see how it turns out and what's going to happen, obviously, with this whole COVID situation, but I hope it doesn't affect it that much.
What was the food for each one?
What do you say?
What was the food for each one?
I had a spaghetti buffet bar thing. And then what do you have in Tess?
We are doing a taco bar.
Oh, dang. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing about North Dakota weddings. No matter if it's food or drinks, there's always a bar there, and it's fantastic.
Exactly.
Great. So what's it been like, you know, I can't imagine getting married like at 19 and then going through college and stuff and balancing everything and working, living together, all that good stuff, because like I'm super immature now. How are you guys able to pull it off?
Honestly, it's so nice having that main person that supports you and pushes you to be better, and it's just nice that you get to walk through life with them, and so I'm excited to get to do that. But I guess I can let Morgan elaborate on that more since she is married.
Yeah, I remember my first year at UND because I got engaged the September of my freshman year. So like orientation was in July, school started in August. I got engaged in September. People are like, "Oh my goodness, are you a military wife?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not a military wife. I have just been dating the same guy since 7th grade." And yeah, it was just meant to be. It's just one of those things. I think Tessa and Noah can speak to this too, but you know, you have the same values, the same morals, and it all falls into place after that once you have that figured out. And so, blessing to find somebody so young. We are lucky, and we're not saying it's great to get married at 18 every single time. We know that's not for everybody, and we're mainly the exception, not the rule. So can't advise it for everybody, but yeah, we have the big life questions figured out, and so it's been really good, really special. So.
Oh man, unbelievable! I might just cry. We just had Lauren Hendrickson on the show, so we've got a lot of overlap of Our Redeemers topics and Wedding Bell topics with her as well, because she just got engaged after skydiving, so that's a couple big leaps anyway. And I asked her this question because she's getting ready to maybe have to, and I don't know, Morgan, maybe you've put up with it already. What's you guys' go-to response when people are weird about, like, hey, where the hell are my grandkids?
Oh, man. Well, that's funny you say that. Yeah, Tessa probably hasn't gotten it that yet, but I get begged by my sisters every single day, and my mom, actually, to give them a niece or nephew or grandkid, but I'm like, oh, after college, I just, kind of brush it off, and I'm really vague about it because, when the time's right, and yeah, that's what I say, so.
Fantastic. Tessa, do you have, like, a strategy for that?
No, not really. I mean,
You'll just be taken aback, yeah.
Just, obviously finish college and then we'll see, but it's definitely something that we both want to do in life is have children, so, yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it ended up being a good transition because, like, Morgan had to put up with the weird military wife questions, and then there's another tough one for you. So,
yeah, exactly.
Obviously, that's going on for you guys and on the horizon. Tell us a little bit, just to wrap this up, of what kind of your big future career plans are. What are you going to be up to? And a lot of people know you from sports, and you'll still be seen around town and between Grand Forks and Maya. Just what does the future hold for the Olsons here?
For me, I am graduating with a double major in accountancy and management and a minor in leadership, and I'm gonna pursue becoming a CPA. Actually, this upcoming spring, I'm interning with Brady Marks in Grand Forks, and this last summer I interned with the Minot office, so they're a great company. And then my husband, Taylor, he, in May as well, is going to be graduating with his Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering. And our hope is to move back to Minot and get jobs there, so that's what's on the horizon for us personally.
And then for me, I am going to be going to school. I'm going to be majoring in nursing. So my future plans is hopefully be a nurse here in town. And Noah is currently majoring in psychology and is going to be pursuing a master's degree with that. And we both definitely, too, want to stick close to home and find jobs here if possible.
Hey, that's awesome. And one more thing I thought about just now, I think it would have made better sense, is, like, did you guys ever approach, like, Taylor and Noah and be like, hey, we're much better players, we're more well-known for our sports accomplishments than you guys are? How come it's not Taylor Olson and Noah Olson coming up here? Why is it Strand and Abel instead?
Well, I think Tess and I are pretty traditional in that sense, and we definitely don't mind taking their last names. But yeah, that's my take on it. I don't know about you, Tessa.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to take his last name, and we still got 2 Olsen sisters left, so
exactly, they can carry on the legacy through our Redeemers still.
All right, that sounds like a plan. Appreciate you guys taking the time. And, hey, we'll see you around still at a ton of Knights games or wherever Morgan gets yelled at as a ref. Thanks for the time.
Perfect. Yes. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Morgan and Tessa Olson.